And now, the LSU Football Fix with Preston Guy, presented by TigerBait, starts now.
And welcome to your LSU Football Fix presented by Celebrity Theaters. Join with me as always each and every Monday night at 8 p.m. on the TigerBait YouTube and Facebook page is Zack, Nagy, publisher at Sports Illustrated's LSU Country. Tonight, guys, we're letting her rip a little bit. I've got some things to say. Of course, when you're undefeated and top 5 in the country, a lot of these concerns, you get a little more reserved about it. What I saw this weekend was inexcusable for a number of reasons. Call it a 5-point loss, if you will. LSU dropped 24-19 at Ole Miss. I call it a shellacking that the score was not indicative of how bad that was. I do want to lead off the show, though, with condolences to my friend Wilson Alexander, whose wife tragically passed away this weekend, Saturday, with a battle of cancer, a rare form of cancer. I've enjoyed working alongside Wilson quite a bit. Guys, I would urge you to please consider a donation to the Sarcoma Foundation of America, the Carmelite Nuns of Lafayette, or St. Peregrine Cancer Shrine. All of those wonderful foundations are available on his wife Alice's obituary. So there's no easy transition from that, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention that. Of course, LSU did drop a big game to Ole Miss this weekend, 24-19.
Before we
wasn't as close. But no, I was going to say, I'm going to toss it up to Zack before we transition onto that.
Let me say something about Wilson real quick. I just want to send my condolences as well to Wilson. I mean, just a horrible situation all around. Wilson's been an absolute warrior, just kind of working through it, obviously going home and having to be there for his wife, but also really putting in a ton of work for LSU and for his content. He does really good stuff for the Advocates. So just kind of watching him navigate a rough time with his family, but also being just one of the hardest workers on the LSU beat. It's been really remarkable. So he's been in our intentions at church over the last couple of months, and really it's been a true battle for that family. So sending a ton of prayers to Wilson and the Trapp family, of course, because just a challenging time for them, but certainly keep them in your prayers.
Absolutely. And Alice was, of course, an LSU Manship alum. I believe she graduated with my wife, actually. So tragic by all fronts. And I think we'd all be a little inhuman if we didn't talk about our friend Wilson and what a great guy he is. And we're talking about a marriage that started 24 months ago. I think it was 24 months ago they got married in November. So, yeah, absolutely heartbreaking for anybody, but especially for such a young couple at 31 years old. Anyways, there's no easy transition from that, but we're going to do it anyways. We've got an absolutely loaded show tonight, guys. I'm taking the gloves off. I'm letting it rip tonight, okay? The comments, they might be scarce tonight. I might not get to everybody's comments because I've got just a bit of a monologue loaded up for y'all. So if you've got a comment, get your super chats in. That's the way to get them guaranteed. If you have something you want up there, put it out there. Of course, Mike Scarborough's been teasing me all week. He got a $300 on the super chat, and he's been holding that over my head for a long time. So we do have a super chat in the chat. That's Crying Belly. I think for me, it's the dishonesty. BK has always been known at LSU to be transparent, because it's either he's hurt and you are gaslighting the fan base, or he is just, I'll let it rip tonight. He's ass. Thank you for ripping him, PG. Yeah, look, you hit it on the head. Whether he's hurt or not, he's not capable of making the throws you need to make right now. Now, the injury makes more sense for a number of reasons, but it's currently being denied. I can understand why you would deny it, but we're going to dive more deeply into that. I'm going to give y'all a quick rundown. I'm going to thank Celebrity Theaters, and then I'm going to give y'all my rant. So, of course, we're going to open with the rant tonight. Then we're going to transition to Zack. Actually has some pretty appalling statistical numbers, diving into just how putrid, good word, putrid, accurate?
That'll do it. That's
putrid.
That pretty much does it.
This offense has been, and it was kind of disguised. Well, you beat top 5 Clemson on the road. They're 1-3. Okay. You beat Florida. They're 1-3. Okay. So now it's no longer being disguised how bad this offense has been. LSU drops to number 13 in the poll. We'll talk a little bit about that. We're going to go deep dive into the Nuss injury. I actually have some video that popped off for over 1 million views on Twitter comparing the throwing technique of 2024 versus 2025.
It's alarming. It's
alarming. Oh, I agree.
I saw it a little bit, but once you put them side by side like that,
yeah.
Can you pull that up? Are you gonna be able to pull that up?
No, I can't. But let's wait till it's on topic. Okay, let's get to it and dive in. I don't want to be too redundant tonight. But yes, it's alarming. And look, I played football for 9 years, guys. I didn't play quarterback, but I've watched a lot of quarterbacks. I knew something was a little bit up when that forward leg is not fully planted. That feels like obliques for some reason aren't able to come through and throw with your core. And the fact that he's doing that combined with being 10 to 15 yards short of where the receiver is and he's wide open, concerning. But we're also going to talk about briefly the national championship location for 2027, which I think is interesting because it follows a pattern that probably LSU fans are at least somewhat familiar with. So with that being said, first things first, I am going to thank Celebrity Theaters because, guys, they make everything we do possible, and they've been our earliest sponsor, so I appreciate them. They are the only locally owned and operated theater in Louisiana with locations in Baton Rouge and Ruston. For years, Celebrity Theaters has been committed to providing a total family entertainment to its patrons. Because it's locally owned and operated, you're guaranteed to see a few things like a clean facility, better pricing, superior customer service, state-of-the-art technology, and of course the Baton Rouge location has an invigorating arcade with over 50 games, making it the largest in town, a bar featuring wine, beer, and frozen drinks, oversized leather reclining seats, Dolby Atmos 3D sound system. Guys, it's really the real deal. Okay. You don't need to go to these corporate venues to get these top of the line technology in a state of the art experience. They've got Monday, Senior Savings Day. Tuesday is Bargain Tuesday. Wednesday, College Night. And Thursday is Thirsty Thursday. Remember, guys, they have 8 to 10 auditoriums, which makes them perfect for hosting your private event, guys. To book your private event or just to look up more information, visit celebritytheaters.com/events to get more information. Y'all know I've got something up if I'm stacking the papers.
Here we go.
This season, LSU's had a putrid offense with 4 of their 5 opponents being subpar competition. 2 of the Power 5 schools that you've played, guys, they're 2-6. With wins, get this. Here's the wins of those 2 Power 5 wins that you have, okay? Long Island and a struggle win against Troy at home. Those 2 Power 5 teams that you beat, you scored 17 and 13 against those teams. Your offense ranks 80th in the country despite playing 1 Power 5 team with a winning record. Really, frankly, look, LA Tech might be a tough G5 team. Southeastern might be, but we're talking about teams that aren't competing on the same level, especially in this NIL era. They don't have the resources that a school like LSU does. I'm sorry. They just don't. 80th in scoring, 90th in yards per game, 121st in running the ball. And by the way, your bread and butter of this offense, supposedly your passing game that's carrying you, 44th in passing. Guys, that's with having a G5 and an FCS team on your schedule already. You stink on the offensive side of the ball. I'm hard-pressed to find anything this offense does well. Run blocking? Nope. Pass blocking? Guys, you're getting beat consistently on 3-man rushes against Ole Miss. They've got 3 on your 5. You've got 5 to block 3. They've got 8 men in coverage. Guys, if you got 8 men in coverage and zone coverage, you need 2 or 3 seconds to find an open receiver. It's tough to find those windows. You can't do it. Southeastern smoked your right tackle, forcing rushed throws multiple times. You can't block FCS players, 0-star players with 0 NFL future one-on-one. Does the offense avoid drops? It certainly does not. Do they pass accurately? Nope. Can they stretch the field deep? No, your quarterback can't throw to open receivers past 15 yards. Can you manage a smart game plan? Nope. Your quarterback is a fifth-year senior, and he's still making boneheaded throws out there, throwing into triple coverage, acting like he's some sort of rock star, even though clearly something's off with him. I don't know what it is. I don't want to say the word Indian, supplant that in your head, but something ain't right, okay? Can you avoid turnovers? No, you're averaging a turnover a game. Can you break tackles? Not at all. Can you have a power running game? It's non-existent. You used a fullback one time this year to close out a game against Florida, and you got 51 yards on that run. And guess what? How many times have they gone back to that formation with a fullback since they called that play, Zack Nagy? 0. You're averaging 51 yards per carry, and you get back to it 0 times. So are we allowed to ask questions about the offense yet? Are we spoiled? You can't blame talent either, guys. This is year 4 for BK and Sloan. In those 4 years, 5-9 against ranked teams. And the biggest problem on this team, the O-line, that coach is in his 5th year. Guys, that's a whole red shirt to senior tenure that he's had here for Brad Davis. Last year, you ranted that NIL wasn't where it needed to be. Okay, cool. I understand that. That's a transitionary period. Cool, I get it. Here's $20 million. Go build a roster. You have highly recruited rosters on this team. You have top targets from the portal. You have a 5th-year senior quarterback who now has 7,000 yards on his career. You have every resource you need to be successful, including time, money, and an elite recruiting geography. 2 years ago, we saw one of the best offenses in SEC history get wasted due to a historically awful defense. That's year 2 of a rebuild. Okay, I understand it. You had 39 scholarship players. How often have we heard that? I get it, okay? Now you have an elite defense, and guess what, guys? You really only need to manage the game and score 25 points to win most games. But your offense looks anemic. So you finally fix the defense. You take a step forward on defense, and somewhere else you're taking 2 steps back. It's like every step forward is met with 2 steps back, met somewhere else. Okay, you say the QB's hurt, which we will discuss more down the line. Then okay, turn to the backup. It's not like we're asking you to go out there and win a shootout, guys. Go put up 25 points. You've had every resource you need to develop a serviceable backup. That includes time and money and continuity on the staff, by the way, because all those guys have been in place for a while. What we've seen from this offense shouldn't sit well from you. We need to see improvements. The bad news is, I don't know if there's any easy fix for any of it. There's no magic play call that makes your O-line start bulldozing over defenders. I don't think benching Nusmeire solves your problems, because I don't know that Michael Van Buren is some rock star waiting. Or if he was some rock star, first off, we saw in practice, he clearly wasn't. But if he was, coaches would have identified it and put it in there. But here's the good news. The good news is you don't have to be world beaters on offense. You don't have to be Joe Burrow in the 2019 Tigers. You don't have to be Jaden Daniels in the 2023 Tigers. You just need to manage the game. Be respectable on offense. That defense can still carry you places. You just can't leave them out there with a Lane Kiffin offense for 86 plays. You left them out to dry, and you still only gave up 24 points this weekend. That defense is still special, guys. So, guys, look, when Ed Ogeron got hired, I said it was the worst hire that I'd ever seen. And I said he was doomed to never do anything successful. I thought after Troy, they should have fired him. And he went on to build the greatest football team college football has ever seen. So I'll never jump the gun a little too early and call for terminations or firings or whatever ever again. But I do challenge the coaching staff. Bury the excuses and go get it done, man. I don't care. This team has the guys in place to go put a game management, control the game offense in place. Otherwise, 8-4 might be your ceiling this year, guys.
Look, I'm just first of all, I agree with damn near everything on that front. And you and I talked in the production show. We knew that you were going to have your monologue. We knew that you were going to get it out there, and it's right. I mean, Preston, when you look at a lot of these numbers on this team, and you kind of hit the nail on the head before when we were talking. It's just it's been absolutely abysmal, and it obviously starts with Garrett Nusmeire, and we'll get to that, right? Like you and I talked about, we'll get to that in a little bit. But when you look at a lot of the other numbers, it just seems like there's a lot of issues here that are insurmountable. The rushing attack, I don't see that changing overnight. Your bottom tier, what was it, number 121 in America in rushing yards right now. I mean, it's absolutely abysmal. And I don't see that changing just with Caden Durham hitting his stride. I think you have too many problems to fix on the offensive line. I don't think there's any continuity there. It's a big-time struggle. And pull up that comment right there. YouTube acceptable name. I am going to cry. I mean, watching this team in Oxford over the weekend was truly just painful to see. I mean, points per game, 27 a game, 80th in the country. Total yards per game, 90th in the country. Passing yards, 46th in the country. Rushing yards, 121st. Explosive plays, 84th in the country with only 18. And most of them have been fluke plays, like the Xavier Thomas 50-yard gain in the first quarter, where Nusmeire kind of just floated it up there, and Xavier Thomas turned it upfield to make a play. And then the one kind of statistic that sticks out to me the most, Preston, is tackles for loss. 26 of them have been given up in 5 games. That sits you at 91st in the country. That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable. So it's ridiculous. Like you're saying, over 5 a game. I mean, it's truly ridiculous. So for me, a lot of these numbers seem kind of insurmountable to get back. And watching the play calling and watching the distribution of snaps on Saturday in Oxford, it was alarming. But the one to me, man, that 2-point conversion, when they went for that, Preston, I sat back and I was just taken aback. I couldn't believe that was the play call that you go with.
Ugly.
Yeah, you can say it loud.
What about your 2.2 yards per carry makes you think that with the game on the line, it's time to get cute and run the ball and catch him off guard? Brother, you can't block a 3-man front. Ain't no unpredictability gonna win you the. Be real.
It was abysmal to watch, and me and Buddy Sanji were texting her in the game, and he kind of just kept talking about pathetic and all this and that. And look, I love this team. I think that there are playmakers on this team, and they have the weapons to obviously rebound from this. You're 4-1. I mean, you have everything you want in front of you. So
everything's in front of you.
I don't want to sit here and be a pessimist, and I don't want to sit here and talk crud about this team significantly, because there is still an opportunity to be successful. I will say, when we did our preseason prediction show, I said 9-3. I did not think that this offensive line was going to allow this team to get over the hump, and it's what we're seeing loud and clear. It's been abysmal to this point. To the super chat right here, absolutely. And Preston 100%. And I were talking about that, where you had Jack Pyburn lined up there and just wreaking havoc.
Hey, you know who wants to block? Jack freaking Pyburn.
Right, you had the play. You had it done, and Preston said it before. How many times have they done that since they had that breakout play? 0.
Zilch. 0.
So, there's just a lot of question marks here when it comes
All right, if the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results, what is doing something and getting the desired results and then never doing it again?
Right.
It's unbelievable. It's so insane. It's the opposite. By the way, I do have to thank you for 2 super chats there, Who Dat Tigers. I was planning on getting it. I really just didn't want to shut Nagy down in the middle of it. So thank you for that, because I saw the comment. I had it locked and loaded, and then you put that one in there. So thank you for your 2 super chats tonight. That's Jack Pyburn. That's what you got. You got one. He's got some screws loose. He's like Scattaboo on steroids, man. I mean, yeah. I don't know what adjustments they need to make precisely, but I think power running game. Look, if you can't get 2 or 3 yards, then stop running out of the flipping shotgun. And don't tell me, oh, well, we haven't installed this. You installed an entire Wildcat offense for Jawan Johnson that you haven't used once.
Which was abysmal during fall camp, by the way. I mean, that
right.
blew up in their face.
the staff needs to find 10 to 15 plays that we can do. I do think that's part of the problem. I think that Joe Sloan got in his head a little bit and did some creative things to compensate for a lack of an offensive line. And I think that now they don't have things that they know how to do well because they're spread too thin. These are amateur athletes. Okay. These are they need reps to doing a few things well. And I think one of those few things needs to be give them a flipping fullback and let them bust on through.
Put Bo Bordelon back there.
Hey,
I know, Jack Pyburn is obviously a solution there, but Bo Bordelon is an absolute monster in the trenches. I know we haven't an opportunity to see him this year, but you have him there. You've seen reps of him being an extra tight end from a blocking perspective. Put him back there and see what he can do, man. Like, there are options here.
You talking about the other Green, Donovan Green? How about him at fullback?
Put Bo Bordelon back there, man.
Yeah, Bo Bordelon. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, but there's a lot of guys. Yeah. So Jack Pyburn is nasty, okay? He's a nasty dude who you don't want your daughter coming home with Jack Pyburn, okay? You don't want to see Jack Pyburn in a 3-point stance for his 4 plays of offense he gets a game. He's nasty, okay? And I don't know why they decided to go to that one time and then never again. So you're telling me with 3 yards on the line, okay, that you're going to run some cutesy motion draw play to the guy who's played 4 positions in 2 years rather than put big, nasty Jack Pyburn hands in the dirt and say, go forward. Anyways, I got to do an ad break before we get too deep in. I appreciate Zack for doing his analytical dive there. We're going to get to a few other topics. I think the next hot one would be talking about Nusmeire's health. But thank y'all for listening to my rant. If you want to talk trash on me or support it, whatever you want to do, let me know your feedback there. But let's go ahead and talk about the official electrical company of TigerBait.com, who, unlike LSU's offense, is wired for success. Dykes Electrical is the official electrical company of TigerBait.com. Whether you need lights on Tiger Stadium or a humble TigerBait studio, guys, whatever your job is, Dykes is wired for success. Need a new 10-story office building? They can wire that. 200 square foot warehouse you need built? They can wire that. Expanding your existing commercial building? They can wire that. Change out a breaker, whole electrical panel, or just a receptacle in your home or office? They can wire that. Upgrading the old lighting in your home or office? They can wire that. Give them a call today at the number on your screen, 216-9180, for a free estimate on your project. And guys, I know exactly where I want to go to blow some steam off after letting it loose this weekend. Guys, all TigerBait live shows are brought to you this season by Struby's Seafood and Steaks, located on 107 3rd Street in downtown Baton Rouge. Struby's prides itself on providing a 5-star dining experience for a reasonable price. Struby's is locally owned with ownership in the building daily, taking a level of pride in its food or service you just won't see from any corporate establishment. Struby's features a full menu of specialty meats, including USDA Prime Black Angus steaks, 100% certified Wagyu New York strip. And for those of you looking for something outside of red meat, they offer the dry-aged pork chop, black truffle lobster pasta, redfish, and plenty more. Book your reservation online tonight at strubys.com. Guys, please let them know TigerBait sent you in. And for those of you still willing to show your tiger stripes and pride despite this anemic, putrid offense, listen up. I'm going to tell you the best place to get all your officially licensed LSU gear. Guys, it's Alumni Hall. They're your ultimate shopping destination for LSU fans. They've got it all. All the Nike gear, Champion, Johnny O, Honorable Reserve, Peter Millar, Southern Tide, and plenty more. They've got the nice polos you've been looking for, hats, Yeti, and new gear coming daily. Shop at their store in Perkins Row or shop online anytime at alumnihall.com. Guys, don't forget the discount code TigerBait. All one word, TigerBait, and you're going to get 10% off most items in store. And guys, they got Jaden Daniels jerseys in, Nike Pegasus shoes, and free shipping on all orders, $99 or over. And those ship locally, so they're not coming out of some warehouse in Dallas, New York, whatever. They're going to get there more quickly because they ship them directly from the store in Baton Rouge. So if you're ordering in Baton Rouge or in Louisiana at all, really, there you go. Okay. What about a handful of comments here? Let me double check if there's any super chats. I'll get those. Nope. All right, let's see here. Can Jay and Kim coach in place of Kelly? Love the ad read for Alumni Hall. Yeah, of course, guys. Look, here's the thing about LSU fans. I mean, look at this guy. He's definitely been to Alumni Hall before. I rock my LSU gear no matter how they're playing. Hey, look, man, sometimes when the team is struggling, that's when you need to rally the hardest. You know, that's kind of what makes the hardcore SEC schools different. The standard at Notre Dame isn't the standard in the SEC. This is big ball football.
Got a point.
Nuss needs to be benched. Van isn't afraid to run when needed. Okay, that's a perfect comment to transition. We're going to play this video, okay? And we're going to talk about it. So let's put it up here. We'll watch it. Then we'll watch it again with we'll add commentary as we watch it. Fair?
Fair.
You fake it to him. Nusmeire sets up, loops it downfield. It's Lacey.
Okay, so I'm gonna just first throw is last year against South Carolina.
Nusmeire sets.
Look at just how poised he is. He's throwing into it. See how that left foot is firmly in the ground and he's using his core to throw into it. Okay, and this is about the same distance throw.
Up, loops it downfield. It's Lacey.
I haven't seen that this year at all. Now watch this one closely. First off, notice how wide open that receiver is and how missed that's Chris Hilton, man.
I mean, he had 5 yards on him, Preston, if not more.
I think it's more. I think you need to throw it 12 yards in front of where you hit it. Look at that leg posture. First off, the left leg is behind your right one. And look, just watch. Let's see if I can hone in on this. Watch that front leg, how it just gingerly, like you can feel the wince coming off him. So, I don't know. What do you think, Zach? Does that look healthy or injured to you?
It's not healthy. And I think you could just talk to anybody about that. It's not rocket science here. I mean, we're looking at a player who went from extremely high percentage of completions last year to roughly 60% this year. I mean, the regression is significant. I like Garrett. I think Garrett's a really good football player.
Love Garrett.
He can make
Nusmeire.
those NFL throws. I think he is one of the top quarterbacks in the SEC, emphasis on when healthy. So for me, just to watch them continue to throw him out there, it's brutal. And to throw him out there against Southeastern for me was one of the most questionable decisions I've seen this coaching staff make over the last couple of years. When you're not stepping into your throws and you can't quite make those big-time plays, it sticks out like a sore thumb. And why not rest him against Southeastern when you know that you have one game against Ole Miss and then a bye week? One game in 3 weeks gives you some time to continue to recover. So whether that knee is still bothering him, whether it's still that torso injury that's lingering, it's right there on the page. It jumps right at you. That breakdown right there, Preston, kind of vividly describes what we've been seeing from Nusmeire over the last 5 weeks. I mean, he hasn't been healthy. So when you can't make those throws over 15 yards and you have explosive weapons, your offense is at a complete disadvantage, especially when you have a quarterback that is one-dimensional, and he's a pure pocket passer, and there's not that many of those anymore. So for Nusmeire, this week of the open date into next week, it's a focus on getting healthy, work on your mechanics, and just continue to see what you can do to improve this offense because it's extremely one-dimensional, and it's a shame because you're blowing a team right now that has an opportunity to really compete for a national title when clicking on all cylinders. So, yeah, Nusmeire is, in my opinion, just not healthy. I think anybody would say that, though. So, it is what it is. What's your take?
Here's the thing. I don't think that looks like a healthy quarterback, even if it's not an injury with a capital I. Something's sore. Something hurts. Something stings. I mean, look, we've all played through injuries. I mean, my whole senior year, I had a high ankle sprain that bothered me for 9 weeks, but I missed 0 regular season playing time because of it. Because, brother, you got to go play ball. We're mid. We suck these things up and we go out there. And, a lot of times players are like, no, I'm fine. Let's go. And they're not even talking. I don't know what it is diagnosable. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I do know we've had incredible sources tell us that, no, he's fine. He's 100%. But you got to understand, people have reasons to not disclose that. Do you really want to roll your starting quarterback out there and just, hi guys, guess what? My starting quarterback, he's got a sore oblique. He's kind of sore. Why don't you just go ahead and put an ejectable player in the game and spear him right in his oblique?
Well, I think Preston, I think that's why they waited until after week 3 for Brian Kelly to even say something about this injury before Southeastern. So, yeah, I mean, you're 100%. And it seemed like he's rounding the corner, right? He went out and dominated against an inferior team. It's Southeastern. I get it.
He's already hidden an injury from us once. He didn't mention anything about the torso injury.
Correct.
He already hid that from us, mentioned, oh, yeah, he's been dealing with a torso injury. The knee was... He's clearly banged up, man. He's clearly banged up. And, even looking at the Manning Passing Academy highlights, dude, he was letting it rip. He looked impressive at the Manning pass. I was like, dang, this kid can let it rip. So, look, here's the overarching take here, though, when it comes to Garrett Nusmeire's health. Whether he's injured or he's 100% healthy, he's not able to complete the throws at an SEC level like you need it. You need quarterbacks who can throw the ball 15 yards. He can't throw it 15 yards accurately with any consistency right now. That's what's expected at an SEC level. And if your starter can't do it, you need to turn to the backup because your starter isn't doing it right now. Also, Peyton Manning won us.
Before you get to the next point, and I'll keep it short and sweet here, how... I think everybody's calling for Michael Van Buren for good reason. I mean, Mike is right. Everybody's talking about, giving Van Buren an opportunity. Let's say you do go that route and you bench Nusmeire. I mean, this is your guy that you've invested a ton of money and a ton of time in, a fifth-year senior. The story's there. How mentally deteriorating do you think it would be to bench Nusmeire, even if he's fully not healthy? Obviously, he's trying to go out there, and in my opinion, my comparison, Preston, is I'm a New Orleans native, so I say it's the Drew Brees effect. Drew Brees is playing with a torn rotator cuff. It was halting the Saints offense. You couldn't get passes over 10, 15 yards. I mean, for me, I'm watching a repeated effect that I saw with the New Orleans Saints when I was growing up. I mean, that's my team. So you'd never bench Drew Brees. I mean, you can't do that. So what do you do if you're LSU where you have Van Buren, who, in my opinion, still has a ton of work to do as a quarterback, but just how deteriorating do you think it would be?
Let me counter this.
To pull him and do that.
You benched Peyton Manning and he came back and won a Super Bowl for you.
Okay.
Peyton Manning wasn't 100%, and even if it wasn't an injury he was dealing with, he was basically out there in a wheelchair. Let me tell you the difference, though, between Peyton Manning in a wheelchair and Garrett Nusmeire on crutches, okay? Peyton managed those football games. He had Von Miller in that defense, and he was taking his checkdowns and just doing the minimum he could to just not lose the games, and he won a Super Bowl doing it. Nusmeire is not Peyton Manning, okay? He's Brett Favre. What happens when you get a gunslinger and you take his gun away? You just got a slinger, baby, and that's what he's doing it. He's in a sling, slinging it, all right? That's not the style player you want handicapped throwing the ball. It just isn't. By the way, his style of play for an anemic running game is a bad matchup for it because
that's exactly what I was going to say.
Mentally, he's a statue. Now, he can scoot, but his instincts are abysmal when it comes time to run. He waits until his passers will not be open anymore, and then he decides to run. Here's the problem. You determine your passers will not be open by the pass rush, okay? Oh, the guy's about to get me. I'm going to wait for this receiver. Okay, he's not going to. Now I take off. By the time you say, now I take off, that defender's got you, baby. He's got you, all right? And that's what we're seeing with Garrett Nusmeire. He's not going to run, okay? So let me throw this angle. Michael Van Buren can scoot. He can move. We saw that against Southeastern. We've seen that at times when he was at Mississippi State. He can be enough of a dynamic athlete to get you a few running yards to supplement, your running game.
And that's what Nusmeire can't do.
To extend the play. Yeah. And frankly, maybe be used in some power running situations because you get that extra blocker when you run your quarterback. It's not like you don't need any help in a short yardage situation. So That's my overarching thought. If this is what Nusmeire gives you, I don't know if he's bad, which seems just it seems improbable to me that he would be playing like this. We're talking about a dude with 6,000 yards coming into the season, and he just all of a sudden, after 13 games of slinging it for 4,000 yards in 1 year, he just all of a sudden can't sling it very well. The only thing
Preston,
that makes
we saw what he did during the bowl game against Baylor.
Right.
I mean, he looked fantastic. We saw what he did during spring camp. He looked great. A flip was switched, and I think that's just going to have to be what the nature of the beast is that he's dealing with a nagging injury that's affecting his mechanics and making him a pretty brutal pocket passer right now. I think this is a guy who mentally has sat through everything. He's been through the ringer. He knows what it takes. I think I can't write off Garrett Nusmeire just yet. I think he's just too talented of a quarterback. I'm hoping that you can get in a groove after this bye week, take another week to get healthy. But for me, man, I've been saying this for so long. At some point, I have to cut the excuses myself, and I kind of have to look in the mirror and just be like, look, Garrett Nusmeire is dealing with something that's going to halt this offense in 2025, and I have to be able to sit back and be like, okay, maybe you do have to give Van Buren a chance. So for me, I just believe in Garrett Nusmeire so much to where it's like I can't do that.
Look.
But
if 2024 Nuss shows up after the bye week, roll with him.
Correct.
I'm not saying bench Nusmeire if he plays to his potential. I'm not saying Nusmeire will never play the way we've seen him play again, if not better. I'm not arguing that in the least bit. What I'm telling you though is if he gives you what he's given you through 5 games, you need to look somewhere else because that's not an SEC quarterback quality play. Period. It just isn't. You need to find someone who can give you not even good. I mean, this is below SEC. Like this is below bad in the SEC. This is not acceptable caliber play from Nusmeire. So I believe it's an injury. There are people who have said other things, but we haven't heard anything. We also have heard the coaching staff not disclose an injury this year. So again, that's my working theory based on the video. I can't tell you concretely, but if it's just he's regressed. On that?
What are your thoughts?
If he's if he's regressed?
No, like what are your thoughts on the fact that every single time Brian Kelly's asked about Garrett Nusmeire, he says he's healthy, he's healthy, he's healthy, and then when Garrett Nusmeire is asked about the injury, I mean, I'll tell you right now, in Oxford, we're sitting out there interviewing Garrett Nusmeire, and the first question off rip is Jacques Doucet, no sugarcoating, nothing. One of the best in the business, by the way, says, "Are you healthy?" That's it. Nothing else.
And he says, "I'm not going to comment on that."
And
he pleaded
I'm not
the
going to
fifth.
comment on that right now. So for me, I know that a lot of things can get blown out of proportion and whatnot, but for me, I think when you're in a day and age, and I was actually talking to my sister on the road back from Oxford about this yesterday, just telling her, look, when you're in a day and age where you're getting paid the big bucks and you're the face of the franchise right now, like you have to be transparent and answer these questions. You can't keep shying away and saying, I'm not answering.
All right, can I tell you something that I read in between the lines of those two answers? What's the consequence of BK lies and says, no, my quarterback's fine?
There are availability reports now. Like there are things that
availability reports, but is he gonna lose? Is LSU gonna deduct his salary? Is there another job opportunity that's gonna say, well, you lied about your quarterback health, so we don't really want you running our team? All right, flip that. What's the consequence for Nusmeire lying? Well, Nusmeire, you said you were fine and you played this poorly. Son, I don't know if I want you leading my NFL program. You're sitting out there lying to reporters. You see the difference. Do you see the difference? It's how you present yourself and the consequences. For one guy can let it rip and say, no, he's fine, guys, shut up. I think my working theory,
wait, are you saying that it's okay for him to be saying I'm not answering that right now?
I'm saying that it makes I'm saying there's a logical explanation for why he would dodge the question and not directly say.
Wouldn't you want your head coach and Nusmeire to be on the same page? To where
but here's the deal though. The coach has a green light to just say whatever he wants. No, he's fine. There's very few consequences that you can give a head football coach. And there's very few. It's not like you're not going to hurt your stock as a coach because you were disingenuous about injuries or health of your players. Okay. A lot of people look at that as, well, you just don't want to play your hand to the opposing teams. Les Miles was disingenuous about injuries for 12 years. Okay. He was fine. Right. Nusmeire, there might be some consequences for going out there and number one, directly lying about his health, or number two, maybe you want to play your cards a certain way when you get to the draft period and you're like, well, okay, if I play poorly all year, I want to say I was hurt. If I turned up playing well, I want to say, yeah, no. Yeah, that's my point is there's a lot interviews, what you say, character, health, all those things matter for the quarterback. For the head coach, my guess is, hey, let's not put a bullseye on my franchise quarterback to say, hey, 300-pound defensive lineman, why don't you roll on my quarterback and take a little extra loving when you get to hit him? You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, he slid, but woo, my helmet accidentally hit his ribs. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't care what you say. If you say, hey, my quarterback's playing hurt, it's a little extra bullseye on there for those defenders. And I think that's a big deal that you don't want that. That's my theory. I don't have anything to back it up. I have no way to indict anybody on the crime of at hand, but that is just what I'm working with here. Anyways, you can't get what you've got out of Nuss. If you're going to continue getting what you've got out of Nuss, you got to try a new man. And it just so happens the backup quarterback has a skill set that may complement your crap running game, which I certainly don't have any solutions for at this point, except for give me a damn fullback. There were some good comments earlier that we were just too into this this chat about Nusmeire and his injury. I'm gonna try to figure them out here. Let's see here. Ashley said she had forgotten about the Manning. Yeah, a lot of people did. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, and this was a point I also was thinking of when I was talking about benching him or not. He's an NFL coach's son mentally. He should be tough enough. Yeah, if you bench him, that's life in the big city, partner. Your dad knows about it. Your dad was an NFL quarterback. Talk to him, man. That's a football family. That's one of the things you should love about Nusmeire is mentally he's a 5-star. Let's see here. They were talking about.
I like that mentally. He's a 5-star. I like that.
He is a 5-star mentally. He's a football player, man, and he's going to coach later on. Preston, the problem is the media is scared to put BK in a tough enough spot about the way he lies to us. I promise you at this point, there's going to be plenty of us letting it rip at this point. If there's a certain lie you want me to call out, let me know. I'll see if it's worth a question. I'll look into it. All right, here's the comments. Sam Pittman, available for coaching. All right, I'm not saying you can do this, by the way, but you should try. If it's up to me and I'm Brian Kelly and I'm making $10 million a year to run a blue blood program.
He's going to get a bag. Sam Pittman's going to get a bag.
Who Pittman or well, here's the deal. Arkansas people are saying, well, he's 63. He wants to retire. He said multiple times that he's going to be done. If I were Brian Kelly, this week, in fact, yesterday, I would have been on the phone all day doing whatever I can to make Sam Pittman your full-time, not an analyst, full-time offensive line coach today. I would be running him through the flights and whatever money it takes. The guy's an incredible O-line coach. Come on, brother. Come rebuild. We need your help right now because guess what? This defense is a defense that is good enough to win a championship. But you got to get drastic improvement on your offensive line play. And after 5 years, Brad Davis hasn't been able to improve an offensive line. By the way, in 5 years, Brad Davis has never had a consistent running game from your running backs either.
So let me ask you this, and we wish everybody to be employed. Like we never want to see anything.
No, I'm not. Yeah, right.
But do you think after what we've seen over these last couple of years, specifically this year, it would be hard to retain Brad Davis after the 2025 season?
I don't want to call for a man to get fired.
Correct.
Although I guess maybe at $1 million or more, maybe my sympathies shouldn't. But I think it'd be difficult is the answer. I think it'd be difficult to look at his body of work and say that's an acceptable grade of work. That's not an acceptable body of work in 5 years to have. By the way, you're getting talented players. You're recruiting
look at the comment.
Well.
The recruits that Weston Davis, a 5-star. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to go down this Weston Davis train right now. Just
Carius Kern, Solomon Thomas.
But you can keep going on and on, even in your 2026 recruiting class. Like you've been getting
Zack,
highly touted players.
You had 4 NFL offensive linemen last year, and you couldn't
that
run the ball.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Like spot on. And what? They couldn't run the ball for PBPG for crud. And your pass pro was elite last year. Let me make that clear.
Yeah, pass pro was elite. It's not elite this year.
Nothing this year. This year is off the table. I don't see a way where this offensive line gets back on track trying to keep it PG for crud. It won't happen.
Give it a PG-13 tonight. We'll push it up. This will be our PG-13. He says no.
Nah, I can't. Because I'm going to go down a rabbit hole that I won't be able to get out of.
I know. The thing is, the PG-13 is a tough boundary. Once you start letting her rip and say this and that.
Look what I agree with. Look what Big Stack said. I don't think the O-line is fixable this season. I completely agree. Also, we hope Big Stack's starting to feel better. We know that he was dealing with a few things right now. He was sick.
I don't see his fixable. I do see this from Big Stack. Hold up. Let's see here. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
You can't be missing on all these 4 and 5 stars.
Quit being a negative Nagy is hilarious. Look at the
Quit being a negative Nagy.
Hey, I'm trying to be I'm being optimistic on Nusmeire. I'm not optimistic on the O-line. We're trying
this
here,
honky
man.
Badger Elvis Joven, man.
I love that, actually.
He gets after me.
He
got after me all week.
It's been a struggle, man. It's been a struggle.
Yeah, it's been a real struggle. You might be right that the O-line's not fixable, but I would make a big baller move like bringing Sam Pittman in as a roll the die for desperation, because if you do it, you might walk away with a national championship. I genuinely believe that look, if you could get this offensive line playing average, okay, and if somehow, some way Garrett Nusmeire could, let's say it's an injury and be healed in 2 weeks, guess what? You might compete for a championship, but now's your time to throw Hail Marys up, because if you don't throw some Hail Marys and they hit, brother, we're talking 8-4. And by the way, another caveat to my rant today. And y'all know I've been patient with Brian Kelly, and I think that was the right move to be patient with him, because what he inherited was a dumpster fire. Okay. But if you don't make the playoffs with this roster, I don't have faith in you. I don't. He's not getting fired, so I'm not going to talk about say I would or wouldn't. But I'll say this, Brian Kelly's going to have to earn my faith back if he misses the playoffs with this roster 4 years in, and you haven't had a team that would have made a 12-team playoff. That's not acceptable at LSU. You think LSU doesn't have top 12 resources to make the playoffs once? Come on.
Preston, it's a $20 million roster. I mean,
$20 million roster.
18. What if we want to be completely specific? Whatever. I mean,
well, didn't he say it was actually like 22 or something like? Anyways,
yeah, you got a $20 million roster. You know, I'm pretty reserved on this podcast. Like, I don't really say too much. So that negative Nagy comment hit home. But I'll tell you this, man. Like, it's just been a really brutal stretch just to watch. Plus tax, yeah, great comment. I mean, you're looking at a thing here where I have given Nusmeire the benefit of the doubt. I've given Brian Kelly the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, we're spoiled. We're all spoiled.
Spoiled. How dare you want a running game that ranks above 121?
Preston, I was talking to my dad
Spoiled
on the drive back from Oxford yesterday, just telling him over and over again, I have been optimistic. I've given him the benefit of the doubt. But, man, is it hard to do that now when you're seeing teams just continue to reload? You continue to see teams kind of just take that next step. In my opinion, Bama is getting over the hump. I know you're not a Ty Simpson fan. We'll ignore it. But, you know, they're starting to get over that hump, too. You're starting to see other programs do that. And it just seems like LSU is sitting in a spot right now where 9-3 is becoming the norm. And that just is not it. When you said a minute ago, because you're right on the money, you have top 12 resources in college football. How the hell can you not get over that hump in year 4 with Brian Kelly? It is mind-boggling to me when you've put so much money into this roster. There's just no complimentary football. It's always something, right? Defense was abysmal the last couple of years. Well, now you got a national championship caliber defense, but you got no offense. It's not rocket science. The whole world's thinking it. What do you do, Preston, to be serviceable? Because at 10-2, you're in the college football playoff. You're in. What the heck do you do to even, I don't even know, make it manageable moving forward? If you put on your Brian Kelly cap.
Yeah, about next season or this season? Yeah, I mean, look, I hire Sam Pittman. That's what I do. I don't take no for an answer. That's what I do. I try to fix that offensive line. I'm making some staff adjustments of some sort at this point on offense. Because I think that you've everything's in front of you. By the way, you still have one mulligan to go. So even if there's some growing pains, brother, you can still make the playoffs at 10-2. In fact, you will make the playoffs at 10-2. Now, I don't think 9-3 does it anymore because your out of conference team now sucks. But you will at 10-2. So again, tough schedule, but you get a mulligan. Try to make some adjustments and play for a natty, because for Christ's sake, what you've got on the defensive guys, as imperfect as the defense was, you went and you played Lane Kiffin with a hot hand quarterback who, by the way, made some insanely good plays. You held him to 24 points on 86 plays of tackle football.
7 points in the second half alone. Those in-game adjustments by Blake Baker were elite. So for me, the defense is fine. Like, that'll never be an issue for me this year, which is crazy to say after the last couple of years of covering this team. But the defense is not a problem. Those in-game adjustments by Blake were flat out exceptional. It's, again, like you said, it's going to be just a lot of work in progress.
Let me get to one ad break, and then we're going to talk about, I don't even know if I want to talk about the championship. I'm too fired up. We'll maybe briefly talk about where the championship is and the pattern, and then we'll get to your comments. Okay, that's how I handle it. All right, guys. One thing we try to do with all of our sponsors here at TigerBait, we try to partner with businesses that we know and trust to provide a great experience to our subscribers with local business owners. And that's exactly what we've got with Capital City Grill, guys. It fits in perfectly. Located on 100 Lafayette Street in downtown Baton Rouge, Capital City Grill is your ideal lunch and dinner stop for your casual dining experience. Capital City Grill features a variety of sandwiches, burgers, seafood, pastas, and steaks, with almost everything priced at $30 or below for an affordable experience. Don't forget to celebrate a Tigers win at their Sunday morning brunch or a Tigers loss, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Book your reservation online at capitalcitygrill.net. Make sure to let you know that your friends at the LSU Football Fix, Preston and Zack, sent you in. And guys, I got to talk about my friends Genesis of Lafayette, the premier luxury dealership offering the finest cars and SUVs in the region, coupled with the best service anywhere. Genesis of Lafayette has a huge inventory of new and used certified pre-owned Genesis vehicles for a truly first-class automotive experience. It's Genesis of Lafayette, 6600 Johnston Street. Here to exceed your expectations, Genesis of Lafayette. Shop us online at genesisoflafayette.com or call them 877-856-2961. Tell them TigerBait sent you in. Whether you're in Tiger Stadium or just tackling a Monday morning, guys, Rejuve helps you bring your A game. Testosterone and peptide therapies built for men who want more out of life. Visit Rejuve Medical and go Rejuve.
I decided to go to Rejuve Medical because I saw my energy going down, my weight going up, and my sex drive just wasn't what it used to be. I saw my energy level go up almost immediately. My weight loss, it took about a month and a half. I feel the best I've felt in a long time.
Zach, where was I talking about we need to go out earlier today? Remember what I was telling you about?
Need to go to Bays, man.
Dude, we got to get y'all at Bays Oyster Bar, guys. It's really good stuff, especially if you're an oyster lover. Located at 315 North Boulevard in downtown Baton Rouge, they're serving up the freshest farm-raised oysters from Grand Isle. No mud, no grit, just clean, delicious flavor. Not no oysters, guys. You can swap in boiled shrimp, their turkey brie, bacon sandwich, classic roast beef po' boy. Guys, they're going to be featuring a fully stocked bar with top-notch bourbon, whiskey, and craft beer. Don't miss out on Baton Rouge's newest oyster spot. Make sure to let them know that Preston and Zack at TigerBait sent you in. All right. Interesting news today, although not impactful. I almost feel a little empty putting out something kind of fun and jovial into the show in such a serious tone night. But they announced the national championship for 2027. And you know where it's at, Zach?
My hometown, man. I'm excited about it.
It's in your hometown. It's in Nagyville. We're going back to NOLA in 2027. Now, you know why that's so significant to me, Zach?
Where'd they win it all a couple years ago, man?
Because I believe in juju, no matter how oddly specific and cherry-picked it is. Did you know that since the turn of the century, okay, every year the national championship was held in New Orleans, LSU has been in that national championship, okay? 2003, LSU won the national championship. That was the first time. 2007, lo and behold, the magic struck again. LSU won. In 2011, LSU fielded one of the greatest football teams of all time, and the national championship was in New Orleans, and for some reason, they just canceled the game, and it was never played, but I think LSU should still claim that they played in 2011 in New Orleans in the Superdome. 2015, game not in New Orleans. It was in Miami. 2019, the juju continues, and the greatest football team ever assembled marched to the Superdome and won the national championship, winning the Heisman Trophy, beating Nick Saban in his prime, and of course, beating 7 top 10 teams on the way, the most ever in college football history. If you ever have to ask if a team is better than the 2019 Tigers, the answer is no. Okay? 2023, the game was not in New Orleans, so that tradition was, of course, not counted that year. But 2027, the juju returns to New Orleans. Now we're talking about an event that will come down 3 years from now, but I'm just telling you, for those of you juju lovers in the chat, now is your time to get hype. Elvis Joven, we will win the 2027 Natty with head coach Drinkwitz. Matt, am I a little too cherry picking with the juju? Y'all tell me in the chat, and Zach, you tell me. Am I a little too cherry picked with that every 4 years in New Orleans?
I love it, man. I'm here for any type of juju, anything you can get for this team, especially where we're in a kind of a lull with where the team's at right now. So I'm with anything, and get back in the dome. Obviously, it'll be rocking with LSU fans. I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. I love it.
I'm gonna tell you this: getting to cover LSU as my first year as a reporter for TigerBait, getting a press pass to that national championship was still to this day the greatest honor of my career. You know, it's a lot of times we dream of doing these big things as reporters. That's why we go into it, and it's really cool. I got to knock that out year one. Colin Davis, I said the other night in the chat that 9-3 felt like a stretch. Where do you stand? I mean, if the football team that showed up Saturday night shows up again, then yeah, absolutely, it's a stretch.
I still stand on 9-3. That was my prediction going into the season, and
yeah,
I still feel it. I mean, I think it's possible. I don't see this team. I don't know, Preston. I don't see them going 8-4. I still think you have just too much talent. I think talent trumps everything.
I think the team that played Saturday is an 8-4 football team with this.
And I get that, and I completely get that. But Ole Miss is a firepower team, and to still be within one possession and really have an opportunity to win the game still in the fourth quarter after playing some abysmal football, I think it still speaks volumes to the team that you have. Even when you're playing really terrible football, you're still in a position to win the game.
Yeah.
I know that you didn't get it done, but being in position to do so still speaks a little bit about what this team is. I still think 9-3 is what it's all about. You were the underdog in that game. You haven't won in Oxford in 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it is. I think they've won 3 in a row in Oxford. So for it to be a one-score game, I still have to give this team a little bit of credit. I know that I can be a negative Nagy today, like they were saying in the chat.
Negative Nagy,
road, and you beat Clemson on the road. You beat Florida. I know that isn't the most impressive win, but it's still an SEC rivalry game against a team that does have a ton of talent. I can't write it off just yet. I still think that 9-3 is where we're sitting right now. Man, if they go 8-4, yeah, big time discussions are gonna have to be had.
Dude, I think 8-4 is the same thing as 9-3. You're going to a crappy bowl game and people.
Yeah, you're not in the play. It's playoff or bust. So I mean, you're picking whatever you want at that point.
9-3 for a program like LSU. Who cares? I mean,
yeah,
maybe the ranking.
If you don't, yeah.
Like, okay, maybe 9-3 with a win in the bowl puts you in the top 15 or whatever, but who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? anyways, how dare you have reserved and not be melting with us tonight and say the team's going to not lose every game. I disagree. Go watch MVB. He's a gamer. We said that a lot on our post-game chat, by the way. Would have won that game, but BK refuses to hurt Nuss's feeling, although it cost you the game and a detriment to all other team members. 2 comments here. Number 1, I agree, and I think that there's a strong possibility he's just not a practice player. We're talking about practice. We in the playoffs. You talk about practice? Yeah. There's guys who are just good in the game and don't practice well. That happens all the time. Number 2, yeah, I would have pulled Nusmeire. The first time I thought, is it time to pull Nusmeire, was the second quarter. By the third quarter, I thought, dude, he's done. He's out of it. You need to give someone else a look just to save your chance to win. By the way, the fact that it was a 5-point game was a miracle on the basis of penalties that Ole Miss was getting hit with. And boy,
oh my gosh, that was
everything. Everything. And Ole Miss had a ton of penalties, and a lot of them were pretty ticky-tack. Number 2, it was a miracle because the 2 turnovers you got were very well timed. Now, the 1 turnover Nusmeire threw was completely boneheaded and idiotic, but and it was also well timed for Ole Miss, but the turnovers Ole Miss got were fantastically timed. So I think just by luck of the draw, I think that the game was closer than it should have been. That's just how it is. Let's see here. Brian Burgess says, I'm not melting. I got over the loss the minute it was over. I'm just old. Nuss is broken. Penalties. Preston, we walked them down the field and we had turnovers too. Well, I mean, but all 3 turnovers in the game were well timed. But I mean, yeah, no, I don't think. I mean, they outgained LSU by 200 yards. They had almost double your yardage. The game wasn't as close as the score says. But we'll give them a good comment that I agree with. I put a disagree up there. I'll put an agree up there. Fullback more often. Stephen Miller says playoff or bust. Oh, good. I also watched this. I watched Aaron Murray's film breakdown of Nuss. The dude is 100% injured, not hurt. BK is saying otherwise, is lying to us. By the way, I watched this too, and I love Aaron Murray. He's been on this show before, and he's a great guy. We're talking about a guy. The comment that stood out to me, he said, he's throwing it like I would if I were to roll out there at 35 years old and throw. You watched it too, Zach?
I did.
Okay. All right. That comment just stuck with me. I'm like, that's hilarious. Cause yes, that's what he looks like. He looks like a hurt old man, and he's a gunslinger without a gun. So with that, I'll conclude tonight's show. Appreciate y'all for watching tonight. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. It helps promote the analytics and gets people rewatching it. Share the show if you want people to, if you enjoyed the rant in particular at the beginning and you want other people to hear said rant, share it out to your social medias, guys. Of course, our channels continue to grow. We just hit 120,000 on Facebook, and we hit 40,000 a couple weeks ago on the YouTube page. So unbelievable growth on these channels. I appreciate appreciate all y'all's support throughout the years, guys. LSU's on a bye week. There will be no post-game show, but Zach and I will be back next Monday. No bye week for this show. So we appreciate y'all for watching, and we'll see y'all next week.